Top of the morning, everyone. So, here with me again today, Mr. Ahmad, with another lesson of English. So, today we are going to do some grammar. So, our lesson today will be based on page 67 of your Pulse 2 book. So, I may need you to open up your book to page 67. Before we get on with our lesson, let me just explain the objectives of our lesson today and what I want you to achieve towards the end of the lesson. The objectives. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to learn a set of future time expressions. We are going to learn how to use future time expression when and will in our sentences, and we are going to learn and revise would like and would not like in sentences. And these are the success criteria that we need to achieve if we want to ensure that our lesson is successful. You may need to copy and complete the sentences with the correct form of verb with the time expression will or when and will, and you need to at least write 3 sentences with would like or would like. So, firstly, what we are going to do is let's look at this instructions. So, read the instruction. The instruction is rearrange the words to make a perfect sentence. So, these are the list of words that we have. They are lot, it, grow, and will. So I'm gonna give you like 1 minute for you to figure out the order of the words to make a perfect sentence. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. It shouldn't be that long of a sentence. So which word do you think you should start the sentence with? Alright, a minute has passed. So now let's look at the 5 words. The 5 words are not, it, grow, and will. So I'm gonna start with now. You have to remember the rule, the subject verb rule. So you need to have a subject at the beginning of your sentence. Now, one probable answer for subject is in this sentence, in this list of words is it. So most definitely we are going to start with it. So we'll start with it, and then you will have your verb. Which one is the verb in the sentence? It is grow. But then again, let's look again. You have the word will there. So basically you would have will before grow. So we have sorted 3 words. So the sentence now should sound like this. It will grow. Now we're done with and not. So is it will grow not or is it will grow a lot? Okay, so the answer is it will grow a lot. Okay, let's look at this one. Future time expressions. Now, what is future time expression? So, we use future time expression if we want to talk about something that is going to happen in the future, and then that we can predict when it's going to happen. It's like we know what time of day it's going to happen. Okay, time expressions. Time, for example, some examples of time expressions are tomorrow, next week, this summer, one day, or soon. So you know that it what time of day or at what time that event is going to take place. So you use time expressions and then you combine it with will. Okay. And if you want to make a prediction, you go with when plus will. For example, when I grow up, I'm going to become a teacher. So you're making a prediction that somewhere in the future, sometimes in the future, that you are going to become a teacher. Okay, so when we make predictions about the future with will, we often use time expressions like these are the examples of time expressions: tomorrow, next week, this summer, one day, and soon. So an example that we have here is I'll be rich one day. So I will be rich one day. So the sentence is saying that that person is going to become rich one day. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be tomorrow or maybe in 10 years time. But it is definitely going to happen. And if we want to use phrases with when like this, so when plus will. When I go shopping, I'll buy some new shoes. Okay, if you notice that you start your sentence with when you have your subject I, when I go, your verb shopping. When I go shopping, I'll buy some new shoes. Notice this one. When I go shopping, the sentence is in simple present. When I go shopping, you do not modify the infinitive. You not modify the main verb. When I go shopping, I'll buy some new shoes. You don't say when I'll go shopping, I'll buy some new shoes. That is wrong. The first sentence that starts with when, after the when, your verb should be in main verb in its infinitive form. When I go shopping, you don't say when I going shopping. No. Or you don't say when I went shopping. No. It has to be when I go shopping, I'll buy some new shoes. So these are some of the examples that I have. You will be making dinner when you get home tonight. So we know that tonight he will be making dinner. So we are making a prediction, or maybe we're saying that it is definitely going to happen. He'll be making dinner when you get home tonight. Or if you, let's say you're making a prediction, it won't be raining tomorrow. It will not be raining tomorrow. So you are making a prediction that it's not going to rain tomorrow. So you use your time expression tonight, tomorrow, and will or will not. So this is a contraction of will not, won't. Okay, moving on. Now let's look at the first exercise, which tends to be used after went. Is it past simple tense, or is it present simple tense, or is it perhaps present continuous tense? Let's go back to the example of sentence that we had just now. When I go shopping, I'll buy some clothes, right? So when I go, the sentence when I go shopping, the sentence is in present simple tense. When I go shopping, how do you know it's in present simple tense? You look at the verb. When I go, go is the main verb there. Go is in its infinitive form, right? In its base form. So it has to be present simple tense. It's not past simple tense. If it's past simple tense, then the sentence should sound like this. When I went shopping. So that is wrong. Or if it's in present continuous tense, the sentence will sound like this. When I am going shopping. So that is wrong. Okay, it has to be present simple tense. Let's move on to exercise 2 now, shall we? Okay, so before we start with our lesson with exercise 2, I just need to remind you that before you do anything, you need to read the instructions carefully. So let's look at the instructions. The instruction is to copy and complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Okay, so this is what we are going to do today. First, we are going to copy down all of these sentences, and then we are going to complete them with the correct forms of the verbs in the brackets. Okay, let's try to look at the first one. The first one is when we, the verb in bracket is be. So be here refers to the be verbs. For example, is or are. Okay, when we in Paris, we, the verb in the bracket is go shopping. So let's look at the example that I have here. Remember this. Remember the rule. You use present simple tense after the word when. So if you look at this one, it starts with the word when, right? So the first part of the sentence, it has to be in present simple. Okay? No ing, no ed, no en, not all of those suffixes. So we look at this the example that I have. When we are in Paris, we will go shopping. So that is the answer. When we are in Paris. Now, why do we go with are instead of is? For that one, we need to look at our subject. Our subject is we. We tells us that there is more than one person, right? So plural form. So for plural form, we go with are, not is. When we are in Paris, we complete the sentence with will. We will go. Go has to be in its base form because it's the aux verb. It's the complement verb. We will go shopping. So the correct sentence is when we are in Paris, we will go shopping. Now let's take a look at the second one. Now if you notice that for the second sentence, it does not start with when. So this rule, this present simple tense rule does not apply here. Okay, you cannot go with present simple tense here. You don't say I try lots of different clothes on. That would be wrong because you do not have, because it does not start with the when. Okay, so let's just look at the sentence first. I try lots of different clothes on, but I not buy them all. So we're talking about a future time. We're talking about something that is going to happen in the future. We are making making it a sure thing that we are going to do it. So instead of you say going to, you gotta go with I will. I will try lots of different clothes on, but I will not buy them all. Meaning that when you are there doing your shopping, you are going to try a lot of different clothes on, but doesn't mean that you are going to buy them all. Okay, so the answer is I will try lots of different clothes on, but I will not buy them all. Now, what about number 3? The sentence is when we feel tired, we find a cafe. Okay, see, the sentence starts with a when. So again, you need to use this rule, present simple tense, after when. So when we, what do you do with the verb? Do you add ed, or do you have to modify it into past tense form, or do you add ing to it? No, it has to be in present simple tense form. So it has to be in its base form. When we feel tired, we, you add will. We will find a cafe. When we feel tired, we will find a cafe. What about number 4? I have a drink and a sandwich. So this is what you always say when you walk into a restaurant and you are ordering something up. I have a drink and a sandwich. Like for example, the waiter will ask you, "What do you want to have, sir?" So you will respond with, "I something, a drink and a sandwich." So this one, you're making it a sure thing. You're saying what you want to have, right? So you go with, "I will have a drink and a sandwich." I will have a drink and a sandwich. Right, so for exercise 3, now let's look at the instruction. The instruction is make predictions about your future. Use these phrases to help you. So the phrases are get a job, go to university, buy a car, travel around the world, get married, and learn to drive. So you are making a prediction of what you are going to achieve in the future, what you are going to do in the future. For example, when I'm 18, I will travel around the world. So this is what I'm going to do when I'm 18. Now remember the rule. You have the word when. If it starts with a when, your sentence should be in simple present form. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you to this one. I'm gonna give you some time for you to do this one, and then you can send me your answers via our WhatsApp group. All right, so now let's move on to this part of our lesson. Would like. So when do we use would like? What is this would like? What does it mean? So would like plus infinitive. Infinitive refers to the main verb, the base form of the verb. Okay. So what when do we use them? When do we use would like? We use would like to mean want. We use the infinitive with to after it. Right? For example, instead of saying I want a cup of coffee, you would say I would like a cup of coffee. All right. Okay, but then we use the infinitive with to after it. Okay, for example, instead of saying I want a cup of coffee to go, you can say I would like a cup of coffee to go. So how do you use them in affirmative and negative sentences? For example, I would like to borrow your pen. I would like to borrow your pen. So I here is the contraction of I would like, right? So I would. Instead of saying I would like to borrow your pen, you can just say I'd like to borrow your pen. It would mean the same thing. That is an affirmative sentence, right? So now, what if you want to use it in a negative sentence? So, Tom wouldn't like to miss the concert. Tom would not like to miss the concert, right? So for affirmative, you go with would like. For negative sentence, you go with would not like or wouldn't like. Tom wouldn't like to miss the concert. So you have would not like and then infinitive to. And then, sorry, you have to followed by the infinitive miss. Now, what if you want to use it in a question? Okay, so you would start off your question with would like or would followed by the subject and then like and then to and then your infinitive and then the rest of your sentence. For example, this one, would you like to take the dog for a walk? Would followed by the subject you. This one here could be maybe she or he or Tom or Alan. Would you would you like to followed by to, and then after to you have your infinitive, take the dog for a walk. So this would complement your would complete your question. Would you like to take the dog for a walk? So that is how you ask question in using would like. Or for example, would you like to have this one instead of that one? Okay. Or would you like to eat breakfast before you go out? Uh, would you like to have your breakfast before you go for work? Okay. Would your subject, would she likes to what? Would she likes to have her breakfast before she go to work? Something like that. And then how you would answer the questions? Simple. You can just go with yes, I would. Now, if you want if you want to say otherwise, you can just go with no, I would not. No, I wouldn't. Yes, she would. No, she would not. No, she wouldn't. Yes, Ellen would. No, Ellen wouldn't. Ellen would not. Okay. Now let's look at exercise 4. The instruction for exercise 4 is study the table, write sentences using would like or wouldn't like. So the example that we have here is I forget your birthday. So you have an X marks there. So we should go with would not like, right? So how would the sentence sounds like. So would like. So you have your subject, I. Forget would be your infinitive, right? So before your infinitive, you have to have your to. Remember that? Followed by here, wouldn't like, because of the X. So your sentence is, I wouldn't like to forget your birthday. Remember the rule, remember the structure. Your subject, followed by wouldn't like, followed by to, followed by infinitive. In this case, it's forget. And then the rest of your sentence. I wouldn't like to forget your birthday. Let's try another one. Let's look at number 1. He have short hair. Let's look at this one. There's an X marks there. So we go with wouldn't like. Now, which one would be our infinitive in that sentence? Correct. Have is our infinitive. So we would have to before have. And then wouldn't like. So he wouldn't like to have short hair. He wouldn't like to have short hair. So I'm gonna let you do the rest of the exercise on your own, and then we are going to check out the answers together. All right, so I'm gonna give you like 5 minutes for you to copy down everything and then rewrite the sentences using would like or wouldn't like. So we're down to the last exercise of this lesson, exercise 5. The instruction is, read the math problems and circle the correct answers for 1 to 8. Okay, so we are going to do some math, is it? During an English class. Okay, let's look at exercise A. Let's look at A, text A. Bananas are 1 and 20 euros a kilo. Apples are 2 and 50 euros a kilo. And pears are 2 and 20 euros a kilo. You have 3 options there that you can choose from. A buy, to buy, buying, half a kilo of bananas, a kilo of apples, and a kilo of pears. Well, a €5 note, so you have again another 3 options. It be, or be enough to pay for them. So let's do this one together, shall we? So let's look at the first one. Bananas are 1 and 20 euros a kilo. Apples are 2 and 50 euros a kilo. And pears are 2 and 20 euros a kilo. You are going, is it a buy, to buy, or buying? So you look at this sentence, you are going. So you start off the sentence with you are going. So we cannot definitely go with buy. So this one is wrong. We can cross that one out. So we're done with to buy or buying. So do we go with you are going to buy or you are going buying? Which one sounds right to you? Is it you are going to buy or you are going buying? I mean, you are going buying. It's like a redundancy. It doesn't sound right, right? So the correct answer would be you are going to buy. Half a kilo of bananas, a kilo of apples, and a kilo of pears. Well, a €5 note. And now you see this one. It be, or be enough to pay for them. So whenever you are doing this kind of exercise, you try to say it. You have to say it out loud and listen to it. Whether does it sound right to you? For example, will a €5 note, is it enough to pay for them? Will a €5 note, it is enough to pay for them? So you listen to yourself saying it. Do you think it sounds right to you? Now, if it doesn't, most probably the answer is wrong, right? So let's not go with this one. Doesn't sound right to me. What about the second one? Will a €5 note, it be enough to pay for them? Now, what about this one? Will a €5 note, it be enough to pay for them? Again, listen to yourself saying it. Listen to yourself uh, whether you sound right or not. Will a €5 note it will a €5 note it be enough to pay for them? Doesn't sound right to me, right? So again, we can say this one is wrong too. So we're done with the last one. Let's try this one. Sorry. Will a €5 note be enough to pay for them? So this one sounds right. So definitely this one is the answer to it. Okay, so will a €5 note be enough to pay for them? All right, so that is the answer. Now, so you have text B and C for you to do. I want you to do it on your own, or you can also discuss it with your friends. So when you're done, once you're done, you can send me your answers. All right. Well, I guess we have come to the end of our lesson today. So I would like to thank you for following my lesson today, for spending your time for our lesson today. Now, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can always ask in our WhatsApp group, right? So I need you to complete your exercise and send them to me, okay? So I guess that would be all. And thank you and have a nice day, everyone.